The following is a trip down the backlog rabbit hole, where completing your library of games is just a fantasy. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. It is me, ShellshockPrime, and tonight we are going to be doing two different things. We're going to start things off with Apologistus Ace Attorney, and then I'm going to do Mario Party Madness tonight. We're going to do Eternal Star. It's going to be an 8-player crazy dice session. It's going to be wild tonight. So that's what's on the agenda for tonight. Tomorrow's more Apologistus, Split Fiction Wednesday, Vampire Survivors Thursday, alongside Party Animals. Friday is Retro Night. We're going to do 2D to 3D, and Sunday is a backlog fantasy cleanup stream. Good to see you, Forlorn, Ice Pick, Derek, Kaiju. It's Monday, November 10th, 2025. And Nintendo just announced that they're going to be doing a direct for the Mario Galaxy movie. I'm not watching it, and the main reason why I'm not watching it is because when it comes to movie trailers, I don't really do a lot of reactions. The only time I ever have done reactions to movie trailers was like whenever it was a part of like the Game Awards, but that's because like usually like they have a clearance where they manage to make it so that it doesn't get affected by like copyright or anything. Um and because usually like when it comes to watching movie trailers, it's a bit of a slippery slope because usually like Twitch, there's really no problem on Twitch. It's posting the video up on YouTube because usually like it gets the video blocked, and Universal tends to block videos. Then again, Paramount has done the same thing with Sonic, so Universal's done that with Mario, and I figured, you know what, I'll just watch it on my own time, like when I wake up in the morning. That's what I'll do on Wednesday. Um, so yeah, other than that, everything else, it's been such a, otherwise the weekend's been like off and on because like it's been raining yesterday and then also today, and then now like now I'm just trying to figure everything out, like what I want to do. Like so I'm starting to work on what will be the next Shell Shock Prime showcase, but that's not gonna happen till like much later in December. I wanna see if I can broadcast that before I do my affiliate anniversary stream, which will be at the end of next month, because I have a lot of plans, and that includes some of the stuff from the Tournament of Backlog. But spoiler alert, um, I will since you mentioned Metal Gear Rising, Ice Pick, that and um that and Final Fantasy X will be the first two games. Final Fantasy X will be streamed first, and then Metal Gear Rising like will be the second game I'll do. Like both of them I'll do in January. Um, but for Final Fantasy X, I am going to do the HD remastered version of the game. Eventually, I will do 10 too. I'm not gonna do it back to back because I don't want to do all of it and then burn myself out of it. So I'll just do 10, and then I'll do 10-2 at a later date. I am gonna do Final Fantasy 9 soon, but I think but I will say this though. Um I've realized that I've actually promised people that I was going to do Persona 4. I will do Persona 4 eventually. Um but there is an Atlas RPG I want to do before any Persona game. I kind of want to do Metaphor ReFantazio. It came out last year. I'm more likely going to get it on Steam unless it gets a Switch 2 port, but we'll see. Um, and I know that recently Persona 3 Reload got a Switch 2 port, but it has some issues, but they're going to get some patches to fix some of that, so I'm going to wait a little bit on that. Because I'm trying to figure out what's going to be my Black Friday purchases. One of them is going to be Sonic Racing Crossworlds. I'm gonna get the Switch version, and then I'm gonna update it with the Switch 2 upgrade pack. Hey, Prince Neighbor, good to see you. Hey, Dragon, and hopefully everybody in chat's doing good. I just gotta write down all the games I'm gonna be getting for Black Friday. Like it's mainly gonna be RPGs or some other games that interest me on both Switch and Steam. That's pretty much my plan right now. To figure out, like, whatever I didn't get before, I'll get it, like, on Black Friday. So that's pretty much just what I'll do. Yeah, Nintendo revealed their Black Friday stuff, but it's pretty much games I already own. But they are going to be doing, like, an online deal for eShop. Because they always do one around, like, Black Friday anyway. So I'll see what they have. More likely, it'll be a good excuse for me to get some more indies on Switch 2. So like I'll divide like what I'll get between Switch 2 and Steam. Like one big game I know I need to get still is on Steam is Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, and I also want to get Blueprints. But I eventually want to get the Pirate Yakuza game, but I'm not up to that yet. I still gotta do Kiwami 2, which I'm gonna do Kiwami 2 later this month. The Switch 2 version actually comes out, I believe it's this week. Either way, I'll more likely do that soon, like later in the month. But let's finish up, Let's start up case 4. We're gonna start up case 4. We finished case 3. We're gonna start up case 4. I haven't had a chance to do much of this, but I will, however, but I will say I did try out some of the tutorials for this game, and you're gonna see me stream this day one. That's for sure. All right, let's do this one. Case 4, and I looked it up. It's apparently the last case of the game, but it's the longest case. So that's why I'm starting it tonight, and then I'm gonna do some of it tomorrow. We're gonna see just how I feel about it once we get there. We'll see. Alright, so let's start it. Alright, no problem, Drag. You take care. Longest cause is also features the flashback halfway. Yeah. Turnabout succession. And this is the whole truth of this case. Mason system. It's a heartbeat. In order to understand it myself, I had to know the story of these last 7 long years. There's the cards. Nothing happens by chance. All is connected. So, they're going over the other cases. And now, you stand ready to begin the final chapter of the story. Wait. What's this one about? Will the defendant be found guilty or innocent? The decision is yours. Oh shit. It's the... That's the other Gavin. October 7th, 10:37 a.m. Right Anything Agency. Hey, Apollo, look on TV, look. Yeah, I'm kind of busy. Whoa, look at that. He's the last Grammary, all right. Amazing. Apollo, you should be watching this. Ow. What? I was writing about our last case in my journal. Lawyers are supposed to write things in their records, Apollo, not journals. And why now? That case was 3 months ago. Hey, it's a long story. I did a lot, you know. I want to vacuum pack the feel of the moment for later. Right now, I'm wowing the crowd by figuring out how Lamirod disappeared. That's right. Uncle Valid did that illusion too. But you're missing him on TV right now. I was just getting to the good parts. I suppose I should watch a little TV with her. After all, her father's expecting me to look after her while he's away. What you're now seeing is a rehearsal for the greatest magic show on Earth. Happening right here at our very own Sunshine Coliseum. The Sunshine Coliseum? Hey, that's where the Gaviniers concert was. Only 3 more days until miracles happen here, right before your unbelieving eyes. The legendary trope, Grammary is performing for the first time in 7 years. I wish there was a way to hide the UI. That's going to be great. I'm so there. You and Daddy are coming too. The legendary Grammaries. If Trucy's real father was still alive, he'd be on that stage performing miracles. I've got the tickets and everything. Here's yours, Apollo. Magic show ticket received. Ah, you're here. Working hard on or hardly working. Hey, how have you been? Hi there, stranger. Not exactly the kind of greeting I want to hear from my own kid. Though he has been gone for a long time. How goes it, Trucy? Here, I got a present for you. Yay, pudding. I love pudding. Ooh, it's farm fresh. And not just 1 pudding, but 3 whole cups. I'll have to pace myself. Well, I'm beat. That's right, Daddy. You're on top secret mission. You got to take it easy with the secrets, you know. How right you are. So you still can't tell us what your mission is? Maybe it is time. It has something to do with you anyway. Huh? With me? Oh, maybe you're getting a top secret mission too. Maybe you could be one of those guys. A spy. Can I just be a defense attorney? To be honest, telling you about the mission was my whole reason for coming here today. What? Tell me. You heard of the juris system, yes? The juris system? That's right. The new legal system everyone's talking about. Have you heard of it, Apollo? Huh? Maybe? Maybe not as many people are talking about it as I thought. Juris system, huh? So, Daddy, what's this jury system thing? Well, Trucy, do you know what a jury is? I heard of it. Isn't that those people who sit in court in those old courtroom dramas? The ones who get to the side of a guy's innocent or guilty? Do you know, Apollo? Only from TV. Oh, wow. It's 12 people chosen for the community, right? Well, they're thinking about reviving that system. They're calling it the new system. The jury system. No more doing whatever you like, Your Honor. Not quite that harsh. The jurors cooperate with the judge. They help analyze the case from different angles. Ah, and there will only be 6 of them under the current proposal, right? Wow, you know your stuff, Apollo. Their findings directly affect the verdict. Hopefully, people will start taking the courts a little more seriously now. I feel like I'm on some kind of educational TV show. Starring Dr. Wright. Dr. Wright, his assistant Trucy. Dr. Wright? Isn't that the Japanese name for Dr. Light? And a mascot Apollo, the perfect team. Except Dr. Light is basically the way you pronounce the L in Japan. It's usually RU or R. And they say and they usually like just write it down to Dr. Wright with just the word right, not with the W. Although in the first Mega Man game they put Dr. Wright with the W, but that was never really supposed to be what it was. Yeah, Captain M went with it, though. Mascot, hey. Secret mission. So, what is the secret mission? The jury system is my mission, more or less. Anyway, keep in mind that new ideas like this system are always risky, Apollo. Too true. Everyone's got an opinion, and they just talk and nothing gets decided. Kinda like you, Apollo. I'm not that bad, am I? In any case, we're going to give it a shot. A test, if you will. I don't like tests. We'll take a case as a sample and choose 6 jurists. I'll be the one helping with that process, incidentally. Helping how? Well, for one, I'll be chair of the jury system simulated court committee. The chair constructs the ideal situation, choosing the case, the jurist candidates, even the judge and the courtroom. Wow, it's like you have a real job. I was never that good at the piano, to be honest. Once a lawyer, always a lawyer, I guess. The trial's tomorrow, by the way. Don't miss it. The trial simulation, that is. A simulation, huh? Sounds interesting. So, what kind of case is the trial simulation about? Well, since it's the first run-through of the new system, I wanted something simple. Good thinking. No sense worrying yourself out on something too serious. True, the case is a murder. That's not simple at all. By simple, did you mean that the defendant is guilty? Yes, most likely. So, good luck, Apollo. With what? With the trial tomorrow. You're defending, of course. Recall that I said it had something to do with you. Huh. Go for it, Apollo. It's just a test case anyway, no sweat. Yeah, but there's still a verdict to be decided. And a potentially serious sentence. The most serious in a worst-case scenario. Wow. Ah, you mean, the verdict's for real. That's not a test trial. That's a real trial. All the forms have been filed. There's no turning back now. The trial begins tomorrow at 10 a.m. Hope you can make room in your schedule. But why am I only hearing about this now? Yes. There was a change this morning. I picked a new case. Something that happened last night. Hey, Apollo, I know you're all excited about the secret mission, but what about this? The True Gramarye Grand Magic Show. Huh? Oh, right. The card tricks. They're not card tricks. They're grand illusions, miracles, the apocalypse. So what? That's 3 whole days from now. It's at Sunshine Coliseum. Let's go today. We can say hi to Uncle Valet. Have fun. What? I can't go by myself. You know I'm not very outgoing. Right. Why not go with her? But what about the secret mission? Oh, don't worry about that. You'll hear all about it tomorrow regardless. I don't trust the smile. He knows something that he's not telling me. Yippee! Now you can take me to the Coliseum. Suppose it wouldn't kill me to pop over there. Ah, Gramarye. That reminds me. What's this, Daddy? Isn't that silk hat the Gramarye seal? Consider it a birthday present, Trucy. Thanks. It's great. But today isn't my birthday. Good point. What day is it today, Apollo? Huh? Today? I think it's Recycle Your Plastics Day. Then it's a Recycle Your Plastics... That's a Recycle Your Plastics present. What the fuck? Recycle Your Plastics? What is that? What the fuck? Yippee! So it's plastic. I give it up trying to understand them. It's much easier that way. So what is it? Can I open it, Daddy? No. Huh? You'll need that envelope someday. Someday soon. Don't open it until then. Well, why didn't you just hold on to it until then? Because that would be the logical thing to do. An envelope about the Gramaryes, huh? Alright, so what case are you going to use? You really want to know, don't you? Of course I do. I mean, I'm going to be defending, aren't I? If all goes well, then yes. Of course, this is just a test. We wanted everyone to start without preconceptions. A blank state, as it were. There's a difference between having a blank state and just being totally clueless. Whose dumb idea was that anyway? Well, mine. Committee chair, remember? Oh. Well, if you want to know that badly, I suppose I could give you permission to examine the scene of the crime. Good. That's better. But you can't talk to anyone involved with the case. What? Then how am I supposed to defend? You let me worry about the details there. Remember, I'm in charge of this trial. All of it. But you don't want it to backfire, do you? Apollo? If I'm in charge of the whole trial, that means the entire affair is my responsibility. For good or bad. For good or for bad. Just do what you can. And don't worry, I know what I'm doing. Alright. I recommend going down to the detention center. Your client's waiting for you. You can ask about the scene there. But you just said I couldn't talk to anyone involved. Oh, you can talk to your client. If you can get her to talk. Well, time's a-wasting. What the hell is going on here? That's 20 minutes we've been waiting here. 20 minutes. Maybe I should complain? I'm sure that guard has better things to do than stand here pretending he doesn't see us. You know, the minute we get angry, the quiet will show. It always works that way. Like shouting, "Oh, waiter!" and they're standing right behind you. Oh, guard! Is our client going to be much longer? What are you talking about? Haven't you already started the meeting yet? Huh? Eek! Where'd you come from? Who's this? Well, anyway, please have a seat. I'm nervous, Apollo. It's the silence. It builds suspense. Why don't you do something, Trucy? You're a magician, aren't you? That's right. Okay. I'm the amazing Mr. Hat. You're not helping. Eek! She passed out. Miss Magic Underwear might have been a better bet. That's magic panties, Apollo. Oh my god. Why are you bringing back the fucking panty shit? Hold on a second. Let me fix my chair. This chair is gonna break someday. Hi. Well, I'm your defense. I really think it has to be fate, you know. And by fate, I mean destiny. Did you know I'm good with astrology? Tell me, what's your sign? I could tell you mine if you like, Apollo. No, never mind. I just got carried away there. I seem destined to get difficult clients, it seems. So, what's your name? Oh, right. I'm supposed to introduce myself first. I'm Apollo. Apollo Justice. And I'm Trucy Wright. I know. This is getting nowhere fast. Hey, I know. Maybe you can tell us what happened. I'm your defense attorney, after all. Anything out of the ordinary happened lately? Well, the other day, this tourist from out of town stopped to ask me directions. Later, Trucy. I feel like I need to ask directions myself here. Well, that was fruitless. Though, I think I understand, despair a little better now. You did good, Apollo. Huh? Look. She's doing her nails. What? Are nails more important than defense? Is that it? Let's go, Trucy. Excuse me. Huh? Could you read this? Sure. I feel like a teenager on the first date. And this is a love letter we passed from desk to desk at school. Stop looking so wistful and read it, Apollo. It's a business card with a name and address. The name is Vera Misham. Misham. The address is for Drew Studio. Alright, so we got something out of that. And you're giving me this card because? Well, looks like we're finished here. I wonder if Drew Studio is the scene of the crime? Let's go find out. Here it is. Wow, this looks like a studio. It's like life imitating art, or maybe it's the other way around. But the tape on the ground there, it's a bit jarring. Yeah, looks like we found our crime scene. Apollo, look at these paintings. Hey, don't touch those. It's okay, I'm just looking. Yeah, look at all these paintings right here. Huh? Apollo. Look at this one. Looks half finished. You can still see the rough sketch underneath. But that's odd. The rough cut doesn't look like the rest of the painting at all. Yeah, good point. That is odd. So those paintings are now part of the evidence. All the paintings have a really different style, too. Ah, I thought I might find you two here. It's Emma. Emma, long time no see. Oh, seems like I run into you far too often. I'll bet I know why you're here, too. You know about the trial simulation tomorrow? I've heard about it, sure. So Mr. Wright chose you, huh? We don't even know what the case is about. Well, he was killed. The artist who owns the studio, that is. Mr. Drew Misham. And his daughter was put under arrest. Yeah, we just saw her at the detention center. It was funny, though. She seemed more like a victim than the kind of person who could commit murder. You don't say. Not even by poisoning? That's how it was done, you know. Poisoning is a common way to get the job done when the murder's a woman. Poisoning? Anyway, Mr. Wright told me you'd be coming. Feel free to take a look around. I'll just be over here with my snackoos. We can't talk to anyone related to this case this time around. Which means we better find out as much as we can here at the scene. Or else. Give me 1 second. Alright, sorry about that. Alright. Let's see what we can get out of Emma. So this Drew Misham was some kind of artist. Apparently. Did a lot of illustrations for books, I hear. Had a lot of female fans too, for what it's worth. Oh, well I guess this stuff is kind of pretty. Like their oil painting over there, for instance. Yeah. That wasn't one of his illustrations, actually. Huh? So it was a standalone painting or something? Is that what she means? He was an oddbird, Miss Ham. Hadn't shown his face to anyone until the end. What do you mean, to anyone? He was always locked up here in the studio, apparently. His only connection to the outside world was through letters he put in that letter box there. Letters? Do people still write letters? What do you mean, Apollo? I mean, when was the last time you read a real letter? Don't most people use email and stuff these days? Not Mr. Misham. Couldn't stand technology, it seems. He did everything by mail. Maybe he thought that way was more artistic, you know? Alright, so we added that. In any case, the only person besides him allowed in here was his daughter, Vera. Oh, you mean the killer. The suspect, please. We took some fingerprints, of course. The only ones found in the room were Mr. Misham's and Vera's, basically. Actually, last night, Mr. Misham gave an interview to a reporter for the first time. It happened during the interview, apparently. His first interview ever. Could you tell us a bit more about what happened that night of the murder? So, this woman, Vera, she's Mr. Misham's daughter, right? Yep, a real sickly girl ever since she was little. Hardly ever went outside. She did kind of give off a withdrawn sort of aura. She was homeschooled by her father, apparently. It was quite a scene when they took her to the detention center. She was screaming about how she'd die and they took her outside. That does sound like a scene. In the end, she agreed to leave if she was allowed her good luck charm for company. Her good luck charm? Apparently, she has this charm that magically gives her the courage to go outside. Was it that glove that she had? Why can't I ever get a normal client? Well, why would a shut-in daughter kill her own dad? Don't look at me. So, about the poison. It was found to be in his coffee, right? No, not precisely. Not precisely? What does that mean? It means see for yourself, I think. Alright, but what about the night of the crime? Like I said, last night was the first time someone from the outside came to the studio. I guess mysterious painters who never go outside make for good articles. And it just so happened that he died the night of his first interview. At around 9 p.m. every night. Farrah always made him a cup of coffee. Last night, he drank his usual coffee and suddenly became violently ill. And died. She poisoned him on the night of his interview. When the reporter see? He wasn't near Mr. Misham when she brought her father his coffee. He was checking out some equipment in the back room. Supposedly, that's why she didn't notice he was there. It was the reporter who called the police, in fact. Wait, but why is she the suspect? If anyone's suspicious, it's the reporter. Yet the reporter never got near Mr. Misham's coffee. Even Vera acknowledges that. Regardless, I want to know more about this reporter. Alright, let's take a look around. Alright, so for starters, let's start with the coffee mug. That's the victim's coffee mug. Aha! So the poison was in here. This is my first time seeing a real poison mug. I would hope so. Poison coffee. Not exactly, actually. What do you mean? No traces of poison were found in this coffee. What? You'll have to figure out the rest for yourself. I'm officially not on your side after all. Huh. Hey, there's a painting hidden back here. Hey, you're right. What if it embarrassing somehow and he didn't want anyone to see it? You certainly seem pleased by the possibility. Hey Maverick, good to see you. Just nothing witty right now? Yeah, that's fair. Huh, it's so normal. That's hardly something to get mad about. Huh? What is it, Apollo? Well, doesn't this painting look like... Never mind. Huh? I better get a professional opinion on this. So, a hidden painting. Alright. Alright, let's take a closer look at this desk here. Alright, let's look at, there's something here. I want to see. This envelope has been opened and resealed. Oh, I know how to do that. You take a pot of boiling water and hold the envelope up to the steam. The glue melts it and it opens. Cool, huh? Whoever did this wasn't so delicate. You're right. Looks like they just ripped it open and stuck it back together. Huh. The postmark on this letter is from 7 years ago. Ooh. Why would someone open a letter, seal it again? I better hang on to this. That might have something to do with the case of 7 years ago in which Phoenix ended up turning in his badge. Maybe. But it's hard to tell. Alright. So let's go back to the left. I want to examine something. Actually, I want to take a look at this mug and examine it for a moment. Hey, there's something here. Hey, look there. That stain doesn't look so healthy, Apollo. That must be the Blue Mountain stuff we've been hearing about. Something tells me that isn't even Blue Mountain coffee. This isn't. Something tells me that even Blue Mountain coffee isn't this blue. No, this stain is probably... better ask Emma. It's probably blue lipstick. Alright. Okay. Let's present this to Emma. Emma, about this mug. There's a pale blue residue on the rim. Eh? Ah, that. Yes, well, it's just a rumor. But I heard there's a kind of coffee called Blue Mountain. I'm pretty sure it isn't actually blue, Emma. Ah, right. Okay, you got me. That's left over from my testing spray. Forensic science. I knew your hobby was behind this somehow, Emma. It's not a hobby. So what kind of scientific stuff were you up to? This spray, that's what. It turns blue when it touches poison. So the poison that killed the victim was on this mug. That's right. See? It wasn't in the coffee. The killer applied it to the rim of the mug itself. Wow. Science is amazing. It certainly is helpful. Maybe Emma would be willing to help us out a bit more. You should try buttering her up, Apollo. They say flattery will get you everywhere. I've heard that flattery will get you nowhere. I certainly will talking to her a bit more. But that's not the only thing that I want to present. I also want to present this red envelope. Emma, about this. Oh, that. Yes, why that's a bright red envelope. She sure is jumpy. Someone opened this, didn't they? My lips are sealed. Your lips are sealed? That's a first. You mean, you know what's inside the envelope? Sure, I read it after all. Ah, you mean you were the one who ripped this open? Ha, please. I would have steamed it open. But she did sneak a peek at it, apparently. Know that I have a powerful weapon on my side. Weapon? Yes, the use of tools. Highly specialized tools for information gathering. Tools I wouldn't mind getting my hands on. You should try flattering her, Apollo. They say a little praise can open big doors. Never heard of that one, but it's a good advice. Let's try talking to her some more. I bet Emma can help us out here. Don't forget, flattery will get you everywhere with her, Apollo. It's flattery will get you nowhere. Huh. What are you two whispering about? Well, I was thinking. I mean, what is it we always do when we run into you at a crime scene? What is it that we always do scientifically? Ah, you know me too well. Okay. Okay, meaning we can get, scientific now? Oh, I suppose, just this once. Bring me anything you find suspicious and we'll check it out. Alright. Then let's present something. Alright. Let's take a look around. Let me see if there's anything that looks suspicious. Let's talk about this coffee mug again. Emma, about this mug. There's a pale blue residue on the rim. A dot. This was just, oh, it's the same thing. The spray, that's what it turns blue when it touches poison. So the victim that was killed, the victim was mugged. That's right. See? It wasn't the coffee. The killer applied it to the rim of the mug itself. Wow, science is amazing. About poison analysis. I was afraid you were going to ask about that. See, this solution is used to test for atroquinin. Atroquinin. That deadly poison found in the autopsy. Oh, I know that spark in her eyes. She's getting excited. Best tread lightly. It's one of the most, virulent poisons, but it's absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for adverse effects to show. Oh, and guess what? Recent search has shown. That's fine, really. We don't need to know all the gory details. I think I get it. You just sprayed the stuff on something you want to test, right? Precisely. You can find even the slightest trace of poison with this. I want to try it too, Emma. Pretty please? You don't have to ask twice. I already used it on everything suspicious, of course. Yay, let's give it a whirl, Apollo. Ah, what are you doing? I was just seeing if I got a reaction off of you. How's this for a reaction? Never do that again. I'm not poisonous. Not to those hapless witnesses on the stand. Wow. Wow, Tracy. Let's just get down to checking for real poison, shall we? Alright, so, we need to be able to spray. If we were to go right here. Okay, so not that. Too bad, no reaction there. I'm sure Emma checked out all the likely spots. Wait a second. What is it, Apollo? Did you spray that little desk over there? I don't think so. The spray probably can't reach that far, you know. Let's check it out, just to be sure. What about this tiny little frame? There we go. We got something. Eek! A reaction, Apollo. Ah, where? The inside of that cute little frame. Look. Well, wouldn't you look at that? Nice going, Trucy. I'm known to work magic. Never mind that I was the one who found it. Tiny frame. Why would the inside of that frame have poison on it? It looks like we found the only other place that was poisoned in any case. Let me see if there's anything I still have to do before anything else. I wouldn't mind taking a closer look at those paintings. It's like oils, like the best things in the world. These paints are all dry. I'm surprised at how different these all are. I love oils. You know how thick how so thick is that the word? I'm surprised at how different these all are. Yeah, and what's going on with this half-finished one? Must have been a work in progress. You can still see the rough sketch below. That's what's so weird. The sketch part doesn't really fit the finished parts. I noticed that is weird. Emma, I was wondering if you could take a look at this. Look, I'm a detective. You can't just ask me any old thing and expect the answer, okay? I think you need to be a little more focused in your inquiries, scientific even. Somehow I knew she'd get around to science. Sure, Shuppy. Yeah. I want to see if something happens if I do this now. About that envelope we found. I was wondering if you could help us out with that tool you were mentioning. You want to know about my tool, do you? It's called X-ray analyzer. X-ray, like the X-rays you get at the dentist? That's right. At least that's what I call it. Huh. It has a real name, but it's much more complicated. The X-ray spectralization. Something. How am I supposed to remember all of that? So basically, it lets you see the inside of things, like envelopes. That's right. You're sharp, Trucy. But it's a bit more complicated than that, in practice, of course. Actually, to tell the truth, I'm not really sure how it works scientifically. Can I try it out, Emma? Please? Oh, I suppose. Hey, it's So Keith. Welcome. Thank you for the raid. I really appreciate it. How's Bloodborne? Hey, Ange. How you doing? Of course, I've already checked out everything suspicious myself. Alright, let's give it a spin, Apollo. But yeah, thank you so much for the raid, Keith. I really appreciate it. I take it that you are a friend of Ange's? Hello, doing goodies. Good to see you, Ange. Hope you're doing good. Hi, Husky Lover. Welcome. So, right now, I am currently playing Apollo Justice Ace Attorney. It's the first part of the stream tonight. We got a Mario Party session around 8:30 Eastern. So for now, I'm playing some Apollo Justice to pass the time. Lots of fun, getting pretty in-depth with the endgame. Bloodborne, nice. I would love to play Bloodborne someday. I just don't have my PS4. If Sony were to finally bring it to PC, I would definitely get it on there. But either way, I hope you had a good stream. Right now, Paul Justice, I've been playing this game, and I'm enjoying some of the story, but some of the story just goes all over the place. It's so crazy how it's still stuck on the PS4 after 10 years. You'd think it would have been ported by now. Best friends with Angie. She's my wife's friends with Angie. She's my wife's best friend, though. Nice. Glad to hear it. Yeah. What are you doing? Oh, just seeing if I could see through your hair. But it's like lead. Point that thing at me anymore, and it might all fall out. Then I wouldn't need an X-ray machine to see through it. Let's just get down to business, shall we? Right. Let's test it on the sample first. Yep, I met his wife through cosplay. Oh, nice. Awesome. It just so happens that I have a lottery ticket here. Scanning. You set the sample in the device like so. I don't see anything. Patience. There's no need to get all antsy. Look at the right side of the screen. That's the layer view of the envelope. Layer view. You gotta set it to display the outside of the envelope. Now, see? Actually, it's quicker to just have you give it a try. Turn that dial there with the right stick for me, would you? That's right. That's how you choose what depth you want to scan. Hey, I got something. See? That's how you can read the letters on the ticket inside. Cool, huh? Except, I can't read them. Just turn the dial a little more. What you have to understand is that a sheet of paper isn't really flat at all. When you zoom in that much, you see the paper is like a bunch of hills and valleys. Wow, really? This X-ray device uses a beam with a wavelength of only 0.05 microns. It breaks cards down into thin layers so it can only show what's written on the layer. I'm not entirely following you, but what good is it if you can't read anything? That's when we go on to step 2. Try rubbing the image a bit if you would. Rubbing, like going over the image with the left stick while holding A? Like this. There, that fixes the image on the screen. Now turn the dial again, just a little. Good, now you can rub this image to fix too. Hey, Red Riding Hood, welcome. You're the wife? Awesome. Nice to meet you. Hey, I get it. We just keep doing this until we got the whole thing. Exactly. Not bad. Neat. Let's do some more. I kind of see something, but I need to turn this down a little more. Yeah, right here. This must be a winning lottery ticket. Yeah, it's this lottery 0007. Big winner. Go back. Yeah, it's a lot more clear now. Okay, let's print this one out. Lottery is number 0007. Big winner. Woohoo, I'm a big winner. See, this is the true hidden power of my weapon. Neat, huh? So let's try it on the real thing, shall we? So now we're scanning. So that was a lottery ticket. Now we're gonna scan the contents inside the envelope. It's starting to become legible. Yeah, it's like once you see the blue dots, you gotta get rid of them. There we go. Okay, let's print this one out. Mr. Drew Misham, I deposited the $100,000 in the designated account. Please send a receipt once you confirm the transfer. Someone deposited $100,000 into Mr. Misham's account? His paintings must be really valuable. There's another page in there. Can I take a look? You bet I do. If you're going to read someone's mail, you must read it all. Here goes with the second page then. Alright, so we got another thing to look for. We want to get all that, as you can see right here. Alright. It's becoming readable slowly. There we go. Okay, let's print this one out. Sign the papers and send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. I need not remind you to speak of this to no one. So it was a letter about payment for one of his paintings. Why all the secrecy, though? And what? And why was this letter the only one here? It's 7 years old, right? Maybe it has some special significance to him. Well, Emma? Well, indeed. She knows something she's not telling us. Looks like she's keeping mum about it. This might have, again, like I said, this could potentially have something to do with what happened with Phoenix Wright. So Emma, I was wondering, what's the story about this reporter that came here for a story that night of the crime? I'm afraid I can't tell you because he's going to be a witness tomorrow, I hear. I thought so. I'll never forget that face, but what was his name? Oh, right. Brushel. Brushel. He's after a scoop to sell the papers. So a reporter comes in for an interview with the paper, his first interview ever, and that night he's killed. Seems strange to you. Really strange. It does raise a few questions. I'd like to speak with this reporter if I could. Well, I hear he's on the beat today, too. He says something about covering a magician. Magician? Well, if it's not Trucy, then that leaves only one other person. It wasn't Valiant Grammary by any chance, was it? Yeah, something like that. He's got some big show lined up, I hear. So he's out interviewing Valiant Grammary. Looks like I'll be heading out to that Coliseum again sooner than I thought. Here, I'll give you that reporter's card if you want. I'll take that. Now we gotta go to the Coliseum. Woohoo! This is it, Apollo. The place where magic and dreams converge. Just a while ago, it was the place where murder and nightmares converged. Let's go say hi to Uncle Valiant. What about the case? Only a performer laughs like that. The young Miss Trucy. How often I hope we meet again only to tell myself it was an impossible dream. Uncle Valiant, how's it going? I'm glad to see you too. Of course you are. Humility is definitely not one of his stronger traits. Well, Miss Trucy, how does the day find you? If you come to give me flowers, do it after the show. I beg you. Actually, we came to wish you good luck. And congratulations on your big magic show. Oh, but it's I who wish to congratulate you. Not everyone's so lucky as to witness miracles such as the ones I shall perform. Yeah, you're amazing. We get the picture. The world will watch in wonderment as Magnifi's illusions are reborn. Here on stage, by my hand. Everyone's talking about the big magic show. Is it true that the Grammary Miracle is back after a 7-year absence? Miss Trucy, I must apologize. This show and this honor should have been his. Daddy. My co-magician in training, Zach Grammary, if that terrible thing hadn't. It's okay. Your father was a great magician, Trucy. If he were alive, then I Grammary would have been proud to stand up on the stage as his assistant. Thanks, Uncle Valent. You know, I'm happy you're doing the show. Think we get to see the great Magnifi's illusions again. She really is looking forward to this, isn't she? My mentor, the magnificent Magnifi Grammary, was a true deity among magicians. A creator god who gave birth to magicians and illusions that defied our very imaginations. I was a little when I last saw one, but I still remember his shows. He did wheelies in sports car through the air above the audience, and then sped off to the outer space faster than the speed of sound. I'm guessing that memory was a bit embellished. For 7 long years, the world has been waiting for a miracle to match his. As heir to the Grammary Troop's secrets, it falls to me to provide them. It's my God-given destiny. Yes? Your nameless face who speaks for the nameless masses? How can I help you? If the world was waiting, why did you hold off for 7 long years? It appears the lad is uninformed. Perhaps you have heard of the magic known as law, which governs our land. I have, though I'm not sure if it qualifies as magic. The performance of Magnifi's miracle was impossible. A certain law prevented it for 7 years, but no more. 7 years. That phrase sure likes to pop up, doesn't it? And why was that? A little matter called performance rights, Miss Trucy. Can you tell us about these performance rights? Magnifi's magic relied on an incredibly innovative idea. A trick, if you will. That trick was considered his property and as such was protected by the property laws. Intellectual property, maybe? Magnifi knew this and bequeathed in his will. To one person. You mean him? Yes, Miss Trucy, it was your father. Zach Grammary was the inheritor of the Grammary miracle. Daddy. Yet, as you well know, he is gone. He disappeared suddenly 7 years ago. I think I see where this story's going. Once a person is classified missing for a certain period of time, they're considered legally deceased, correct? In all absoluteness, those rolled-up sleeves conceal your competence well, young man. That certain period of time of which you speak is 7 years. Ah. Yes, Miss Trucy. Though it pains me to say it, this past spring, April to be precise, was the time. Your father was legally declared deceased, in the absence of a formal will. The secrets of our mighty mentor Magnifi passed to me. This was in fact stipulated in the will by Magnifi himself. Is that how it works, Apollo? Yeah, it's called death in absentia. Declared missing He's declared missing permanently. Daddy. Alright. I want to show something to you. I want to show you something. I was wondering if you could tell me about this. Aha! Why that bears the Grammary seal. Uncle Valent? Is something wrong? Trucy? Where did you get this? Huh? Daddy gave it to me. Your daddy? My partner's at Grammary? No, my other daddy, Phoenix Wright. Why now? Why would you Lord Daddy? That's kind of stretching the whole archaic thing a bit. The signature upon the back. Do you recognize it? That belongs to none other than Zach Grammary. Aha, my dear Watson. Hey, Redbeard. What? Daddy signed this? Might I be so bold as to open it? I'm sorry, but I can't let you do that. Hey, Caitlin. Welcome. What's in this envelope? I wonder. Alright. Actually, there's another thing that I want to show off to him. Brussels card. So, a journalist was here on a story. All eyes in the universe are upon my stage. All pens to seek to commit its mysteries to paper. His name was Brushel. Brushel. Thanks for the 15 months, Caitlin. I think he remembers him. He doesn't look too happy about it. Brushel. That cloying smell of mint when he smiles, yes. Could you tell us more about him? What did he want? A man by that name called me just now. Just now? Valent's vision is always toward tomorrow. Valent's fuel step always forward. That is all. That's all. Very confusing. I am to perform a big magic show, yes. So what's going on since I missed this bit? Well, okay, so to sum it up, long story short, so Phoenix Wright has selected Apollo to be the defense attorney for a case that he does not that Phoenix knows about, but Apollo has to find out for himself. He met the victim, or rather the defendant, in the courtroom, not the courtroom, in the detention center, but she was too nervous to talk. But she gave me a business card, led me to go to a studio, found some paintings. Turns out her father was a professional painter, but he was killed, supposedly by poison. But we're trying to get to the bottom of it. And apparently we're not allowed to talk about, we're not allowed to talk to the people involved in the case other than the defendant. And also, this is going to be a trial by jury. So this is going to be a very interesting case. I wanted someone to cover it. Yet he had ears only for that incident. In any case, I requested that the rapturous reporter remove himself. So a painter has died. What of it? It is but a footnote in the footlights compared to the magic of gramarye. Uncle Valen, do you happen to know where the reporter went? Oh, we're doing good, Caitlin. I recommend that he visit that place popular with penalized perpetrators. The detention center? He was a rude individual. Might I see that card? Sure. He would tear apart my respectability. I will tear apart him. Ooh, here it comes, Apollo. Uncle Valen's big magic trick. Is he gonna fix the card? Not sure that qualifies as big magic. What happened to the big magic? Is it not more miraculous for it to stay ripped? He must have really not liked that journalist. Now the time has come when I must return to make my protestation preparations. By your leave, Miss Trucy. Thanks, Uncle Valet. 3 days from now, make ready for a miracle. What do you think that journalist was after? And why did Valet react like that to this envelope? I think it's time to pay the detention center another visit. Alright, so let's go to the right agency. We're not talking to you right now, Phoenix. We gotta go to the detention center. I think I hear what you're saying. We're all doing it for the money. End quote. No, not at all. Looks like someone's already meeting here. Maybe that reporter? Who is this guy? What the fuck? Hey there, how you doing? Who you might be? Who might you be? Ah, sorry. We didn't know someone was already here. I'm Apollo Justice, attorney at law. Talk about a nervous monkey. You're Justice? You know me? Do I know you? Of course I know you. Stares down witnesses on stand till they spill beans. End quote. That's not true. What's he writing? Are you reported by any chance? Ooh, you're Trucy. Eh? Am I famous? Oh yeah. Trucy Wright hates carrying a bag. Puts everything she owns in her panties. End quote. Dude! Who the fuck is this guy? Eek. That's so not true. This dude looks like anime Dilbert. Oh my god, he does. Just hold on to your breeches there. I'll wrap up this interview in a jiffy. Interview? So, guard, I think I know what's going on here. Guarding rooms is my life. What else could I possibly need? End quote. No! How many times do we have to tell you this? Look, I've got work to do. You deal with him. Did you come here to interview the guard? Oh, wait, what a pickle. Accused wouldn't talk. How to interview someone or go plumb crazy, end quote. Huh? Oh, there she is. I should have guessed. Where are my manners? Name's Brushel. Spark Brushel. Oh, you're Brushel. I'm not picky. Journalist just closes eyes, writes, end quote. What's this nauseatingly strong mint smell every time he grins? He must be eating a lot of mints. Until you've been interviewed by me, you don't know what thrilling is. Wild romp through crossworlds of mayhem madness. End quote. I can see that. He's writing something again. Well, if he's a reporter, maybe he knows something. So, Mr. Brushel, you're a journalist? Ah, me. Look, let me state that one thing for the record here. Yes? I'm the interviewer. You understand? Yeah? It's gotta be high as balls, just wondering. Probably. I'm the one asking the questions here. End quote. I'm afraid to ask what he does on his spare time. Okay. For instance, you think a movie director watches movies? Well, I think he probably does. Exactly. I know you understand. Huh? So, the night of the murder, you were at Drew's studio? Who? Me? Look, let me state one thing for the record. Yes? I may look calm and collected, but I'm busy. Real busy. Always on the road. Journalist always buys one-way tickets, never looks back. End quote. Oh my god. I already don't like this guy. I can understand that philosophy, but you want to know the thing about the one-way tickets? Once you use them, they're gone. All because you have to give them to the guy at the airport. True enough. But they don't give normal tickets away too? Exactly. See, it's the same thing. What is? Alright, what about the interview? So, you went to do a story on Drew Misham, and he never had a story done about him before. That's right. Look, let me state one thing for the record here. But what? I'm sure you're going to want to know about my source. What tipped me off to Drew? Why did the interview in the first place? Well, yes. Look, it's like, oh, I got it. Say there's this burger joint with fabulous ketchup. You think the burger guy's gonna tell me where he got it? At the supermarket, baby? Exactly, see? That's what I'm talking about. I don't understand you. I think I may have actually understood that one. I don't. Well, there's nothing I could talk about, really. Walls have ears, eyes, especially glass walls with speakers, end quote. Right, guess we'll leave it then. Ah, but since you're here, might as well tell you a tidbit of news I saw, just for the heck of it. Sure, tell us. Just for the heck of it. I remember it like it was yesterday. I've seen it in a movie on a trip and wandered into this burger place with amazing ketchup when an article in a tabloid caught my eye. Famous oil painting stolen from art dealer's gallery. End quote. I believe it was. An oil painting? Happens every day, right? But I thought I'd seen that painting somewhere before. A painting of a giant peach floating down a river. Someone stole an old oil painting of a giant peach. Journalists can smell scoop better than burgers. End quote. Alright. Then let's go to the studio. Well, how did it go? Find anything out? Hey, I love James and the Giant Peach too. I've never actually seen the movie or read the book. Actually, there was one thing I wanted to check with you. But what's with the scary face you're making? And what's with the I know something but I'm not telling face you got going, Emma? Alright. Well, I got something to show you. This hidden painting right here. That movie's so good, I'll have to watch it sometime. This painting came from behind that dresser. Ah, yes. So? It was stolen, no? I was hoping you wouldn't figure that out. Do you think you could tell us a bit about this? I suppose. It's what you think. Drew Misham was a forger. Oh, shit. A forger? Tell me more. So what exactly is a forger? Well, basically, it's someone who makes forgeries. Fakes, in other words. Fakes? Copies of an original. Exact copies, so precise you can't tell them apart. Well, why not just photocopy them? The big problem with forgeries is that people try to sell them as the real article. It's a crime, of course. So Drew Misham was a criminal? I'm afraid so. He received money to create elaborate forgeries, to supplement his work in illustration, I guess. I see. Actually, that's why I brought this here in the first place. What do you mean? When you're trying to determine if a painting is forgery, the rough sketch underneath can be a valuable clue. So the rough sketch is like practice for the real thing. That explains that one painting where a part of that sketch was off. Like doing a magic trick with the front of the mirror before you go on stage. But not in the case of forgery. Not necessarily anyway. You know what the finished product is going to look like after all. Oh yeah, I guess you would. That's why I brought this. I'm going to use it to see what's under the painting of the finished pieces. I get it now. Not that I really needed to go to such lengths. Seeing as how the paintings was only half finished anyway. Still, it'd be neat to see Mr. Misham's rough sketches. Kind of like when he was drawing when he thought no one was looking. True. That would be interesting and maybe valuable for our case. You should try buttering her up, Apollo. Flattery will get you everywhere, they say. Maybe I should ask Emma to help us out. Then let me see something. I kind of wanted to see the rough sketch under this painting. And I was wondering if your tool there might do the trick. Oh, fine. Just this time, though. Let's check it out. So, let's check this out. It has to be this one. Alright, so let's... So we'll start... So by doing this with the X-ray, we should get a clue. And the sooner we can get a clue, the better. There we go. Okay, let's print this one out. It looks like someone playing a guitar. What? What the heck? Wow, he really blows. The finished painting isn't anything like the rough. Devices like mine didn't exist until recently. He probably thought he could draw any sort of thing he wanted for the rough. What do you mean? Well, in the past, you could only analyze the composition of a rough sketch. Composition? In other words, the traces of charcoal between paint and canvas. So you could tell if there had been a rough sketch. But not what it looked like. Ah, I think I follow you. So, in essence, it wouldn't matter what was underneath the finished painting. Some pros would actually paint out a rough sketch entirely. Then do a completely new painting on top of that. So Mr. Misham was drawing whatever paint he wanted before painting over them. So why is the rough sketch so different? That I'm not sure about, but I would like to know. Possibly. Is there a problem with that? Not particularly, but something about the sketch itself is kind of odd. You're awfully silent all of a sudden, Apollo. You think we could check out one of the other paintings? Well, sure. You like this detection stuff, don't you? Alright, well, let's try this one over here. Maybe there might be something hidden. Because this could be the same thing, or this could be something different. There's only one way to find out. Gotta do the X-ray. Alright. Let's print this one out. Wait. I get it now. This is the second case. That was where like that doctor was taking that noodle stand. The other one was the stage. This one too. What's wrong, Apollo? You look so serious all of a sudden. You think I could just look at the last one of these? Fine by me. Knock yourself out. That means that this one was like, this one has to be the one with the playing cards. So all these link up to the 3 other cases we did. Because this is the last case, so this is supposed to culminate the whole story. I love when Ace Attorney does this shit, yeah. Yep, there we go, playing cards. But what the heck is all this? I hesitate to ask why you're getting so excited. You sure your device isn't leaking some kind of strange radiation? Trucy, look at these 3 sketches. Do you notice anything? There's the playing cards, the doctor taking the noodle stand, and the guitar playing. Ah! There. Now you're both white as sheets. What's going on? These sketches are of the 3 cases I worked on. What? The murder in the poker room at the Borscht Bowl Club. The dead man pulling the noodle stand. And then the events that transpired during the Gaviniers concert. What could it mean? How could he have drawn those things? And why? That's what I want to know. Wait, is Drew Misham your father? Give me a break. That doesn't even seem remotely possible to you. I'd never even heard of any Drew Misham before. I haven't even seen a picture of him, but there were my cases drawn on his canvas. Every single one of them. It couldn't have been a coincidence. Just who was this Drew Misham? And what did he have to do with me? All right, let's hurry up and save. I want to go to trial right now. All right. Here we go. There she is. Good morning. So, you're Vera, right? I'm Trucy. Trucy Wright. That's right with a W. You should, but not right, right? We're on your side. You can tell us anything. Please. Good morning. She speaks. Not bad, not bad. But I think you do better with a little smile, you know. You're so pretty. You need to sell yourself, you know. Trucy, let's take it easy for starters. Thank you for taking my case. Whew. Okay, well, that's a start, I guess. There she goes with the nail polish again. That's great, really. It's so cultured. Wanna try? Ooh, really? Girls. The victim, Drew Misham, was a forger, and a stolen painting was found in his studio. A life of a crime, really, and maybe one that led to his death. Let's see what we can find out. Well, we will now begin the trial of Vera Misham. Is the judge okay? His voice is all raspy and he's looking all nervous like. The repercussions of today's trial will most likely be felt for a long time, and it may indeed alter our legal system forever. Today is the test of the jury system, and the first step towards a new order in our courts. Daddy's secret mission. The jurists will function like a jury. It is hoped their inclusion will help the courts to better reflect the people's will. Why aren't there any jurists in the courtroom? Three closed-circuit Cameras watch this courtroom at all times. The jurists have access to everything that transpires. Jurists? Judge Well and Judge Cool? Now see here, Prosecutor Gavin. I was gonna say that. My apologies, Judge. Jurist, today, Judge today's trial coolly, if you be so kind. The jurists are unbound by the letter of the law. They don't affect the trial with evidence, but by their feelings. And we're about to find out just what effect they're going to have. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin. The details of the case, if you would. The victim is the painter, Drew Misham. He was killed in his own studio. His coffee was poisoned. By whom, you ask? By none other than the defendant, Vera Misham. Objection! There wasn't any poison in the coffee. Chung, someone has been doing their homework. Indeed, poison was not present in the coffee, but on the mug itself. The mug? Residue was found on the rim, I see. The autopsy report describes the manner of our victim's death. The court accepts this as evidence. This is such a very weird case. We got the autopsy report. According to this report, the victim's death was caused by atroquinine poisoning, a chemical compound that does not occur naturally. Lethal dosage is a mere 0.002 milligrams. A touch of atroquinine in the body is the touch of the Reaper's scythe. Very well, Prosecutor Gavin, you may present your witness. I have for you today a simple man, for a simple case. A man who witnessed the murder in its entirety. That journalist, no doubt. The witness will state a name and occupation. Right. Well, for starters, my name is Bart Brushel. My job is a lone observer of the world. If I could do better voice impressions, you want to know what type of voice I would give him? You wonder which cartoon character I want to give him? I honestly want to give him SpongeBob's voice. Bah! 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 In other words, a freelance journalist, right? If we don't mind, I'd like to state something here for the record. Yes, Mr. Brushel? I dislike conclusions, specifically the aspect of jumping into conclusions. Would you like a Krabby Patty with that? Preconceptions makes park sandbox of endless desert waste. End quote. But you are a journalist. You said so yourself. He is just SpongeBob. Well, that's true, yes. But you must understand, I stand before you today a man with a dream. I'm offering you my testimony in exchange for exclusive rights to the story. Scoop turns Mr. Brushel into that Mr. Brushel. End quote. Let's hear your testimony then, shall we? A simple case, eh, Gavin? For me, the jury is still out. The journalist's story. I visited the studio around 9 o'clock that night to do the interview. The first outsider to enter the atelier. The journalistic history made, end quote. Atelier. His daughter brought us coffee right after we started. And you know what happened next? Star falls, end quote. No one else entered the room besides her the whole time. That does sound like a simple case. Unless you were the one who poisoned him. What are you saying, Judge? Need I remind you, the cameras are rolling today. I felt the need to be a bit dramatic. You didn't do it, did you? Me do a thing like that? Come on, that's like newsmaker making the news, end quote. Or even contemporary witch hunt, end quote. I know, wild accusations, rock courtroom, end quote. Rock indeed. Prosecutor Gavin sure looks like he's having fun. I'm so happy for him. Very well, Mr. Justice, your cross-examination, please. All right, here we go. Oh my God.
Ready. Fight!
All right, let's go through. Let's press. What's this about a star falling? Star falls, huh? It's like an old telegram. Send money over. Zowie! You don't know? That's like a journalism code word. An important personage passes away. A star falls, get it? But there's no gravity in space, is there? I wouldn't think stars could fall, really. Does this matter? Oh boy, that's good stuff, good stuff. How about star breaks? Nah, lacks punch. I know, star dies. Nah, lacks imagination. Of course, you could go with the Druid dies. Straight to the point, I like it. I think we need to hear about something a little more substantial. Like the Star's coffee. You say Mr. Misham had the coffee too, but did you actually see him drink the coffee? Of course. He who sees it wins, but he who says it wins bigger. End quotes. I live in a man sees dog eat dog and writes about it world. Yet? I guess I can't say I saw him drink it, really. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it. He had one so-called sip, if that. Man puts lips in mug, drinks, end quote. That poison is quite virulent, I hear. My stomach did a so-called somersault, since I gulped down that coffee without so much as a second glance at it. Wait, maybe something's there. Some kind of so-called trick. Anyone want to venture a guess? For the record, does the guy have a pause button? Well, Mr. Justice, did you find that testimony valuable? Yes, very important. The victim drank his coffee, then immediately fell over? Oh, yes. You can go press with that one. Your Honor, this is a vital piece of information. Please add it to the testimony. Very well. The witness will add this to his testimony. Vital, right. He had one sip. If that, the next moment he was on the floor. Well, about that. Objection! You know what I have a problem with? A particular property of the poison used. Atrocanin. Or atrocanine. Oh, Prosecutor Gavin was quite clear about the poison. Lethal dosage of 0.002 milligrams. Paralyzes the central nervous system. If you drank that, even you, Mr. Justice, would be reduced to a quivering pile. Why are you using me as an example? Unfortunately, we weren't told everything. There was a vital omission in Prosecutor Gavin's information. An omission? Atrocanin is as virulent as he says, but death doesn't come upon ingestion. Not immediately. That's because atrocanine is slow acting. Slow acting? What? According to one forensic scientist, it's one of the most virulent poisons, but is absorbed into the body astonishingly slowly. It takes at least 15 minutes from the time of ingestion for the average effects to show. If we suppose that the moment Mr. Misham slipped the coffee was when he sealed his fate, then he would still have had time left to enjoy his last cup of joe. Order. What's the meaning of this? If what the defense says is correct, why? That contradicts the entire testimony we just heard. Well, Mr. Brushel, anything to say on the record? Slow acting, SLOWACT. It was virulent, alright? Even then, it already had begun digging its claws into the journalist. It was working on a scoop. Objection! It's Brushel. Ja? Brushel, let's take a trip back down memory lane. Huh. Did the victim really die the instant he took a sip? Think it's over. This is vital. You know what I like to think? I think that was a not so subliminal suggestion. End quote. I admit it does cause a problem if he died when you say he died. I would be forced to say off Windershin to my simple case, and you would be forced to say farewell to your article. Come again? You can't write a story based on conjecture, can you? And as the case drags on, other reporters will pick up the scent. And you'll be forced to kiss your exclusive scoop goodbye. Scoop. Look, wait, just wait. A second, just 1 second. We're waiting. Out with it. I think I just recall a so-called important detail. A revival of recollection, end quote. A story of survival, end quote. Attorney utterly confused, end quote. Actually, I did notice something when I visited the studio. I heard a poison that takes its sweet time, see? But not what I've been saying for the last few minutes, apparently. Mr. Brushel, are you saying you've noticed something that explains what happened? You bet I am. The antidote for a poisonous contradiction. End quote, you might say. Or I still have no idea what you're talking about, end quote, might I say. I figured it out, but only after an in-depth interview. See, thanks to my journalism skills, I know who poisoned that coffee. Oh, boy. Order, order, order. As far as I can tell, the witness is standing by his testimony that Mr. Misham died the instant after he drank. Of course I'm standing by my testimony, and my dream of exclusive rights to the story. Ack. I suppose it was too much to hope for. What was? Of course he wouldn't choose a simple case. Not him. Him? Phoenix Wright. Who else? Chung? Herb Brushel? Report for us, if you would. What is it that you noticed? This court is a critical trial of the juris system. I'm afraid no room for doubt is permissible. You will testify to the court about what you've noticed. Here we go. What Brushel noticed? When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Misham was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. I thought nothing of it at the time, of course. Now that I think about it, what if he was writing a suicide note? Oh boy. A suicide note. Yes, he had this look on his face. Man's face inscrutable as a quadratic equation, end quote. Suicide? Poor Mr. Misham. But that means Fer's innocent. Would someone commit suicide in the middle of an interview? Oh. Very well. You may begin your cross-examination. Alright, let's do it.
Ready. Fight!
Alright. Right here. So he put the letter away when you saw you. Early reporting gets the worm, end quote. That's my secret. That's my secret, Cap. I'm not sure I follow. It's the night of the interview. I arrived 15 minutes ahead of schedule. The handle turns, the door opens, I barge in. Are you sure that's okay to do? I mean, isn't that unlawful entry, really? Mr. Misham sure seemed to think so. You should have seen him. He crammed his letter into that yellow envelope as fast as he could. I know a secret when I spot one, and that was one. It does seem significant. Well, Mr. Justice, I wonder. It does have the ring of something important. Let's add it to the testimony. The defense finds this testimony vital, Your Honor. Very well, please add it to the testimony then. Hey, why not? My account comes free of charge. It was a yellow envelope. I heard it was left at this crime scene. Wrong. Nope, 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 nope. It was red. I got you. As it just so happens, there was a single letter in the desk drawer at the scene. In a red envelope. What? Prosecutor Gavin? Yes? Was a yellow envelope found at the scene of the crime? Unfortunately, no. But her forehead? It's easy to mistake the color of an envelope. I guess. But not this envelope. You see, it was postmarked already. 7 years ago. Well, Mr. Brushel? I can explain that. True, right? He wanted to get that letter in the envelope. Pronto. Get out of my sight, beady eyes, right? So he grabbed the nearest envelope and crammed away. And what about the whole red and yellow envelope contradiction, chump? Well, Mr. Justice, have you anything to say to this witness's claim? That night, the victim put a letter he had been writing in a red envelope. Well, guess what? It's impossible. That's impossible. Ah, I like your expression, so full of confidence. It's simple, really. As it just so happens, the defense team investigated the contents of this envelope with the assistance of a forensic scientist. What? Note that this letter is addressed to Drew Misham. Oh? Why would he address a letter to himself? Let alone send a suicide note to himself. I've been scooped! Order, order, order. Mr. Brushel, can you explain this to the court? Oh, my. How could I have forgotten? I suppose this happens to the best of us. Reporter gets old, forgets lots. End quote. I'm still waiting for an explanation, Mr. Brushel. Well, that's the thing. See, after he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. His desk drawer? Yes, a stamp, so-called postage stamp. End quote. A stamp? Whatever for. Well, to mail his letter. What else? And then, why, yes, I think I saw him put it in his letterbox. Yes, it was a yellow envelope, and he put it in that box. Well, apparently this yellow letter has nothing to do with this case. Oh, how I wish it did. Just think that if it were a suicide note, what a story. Star writes suicide note in front of reporter falls. End quote. As I was saying, that has nothing to do with this case. That said, yes, Your Honor, it makes me wonder about the contents of the red envelope. Yeah, this. Like the pages within the envelope. $100,000 is quite a good deal of money. So this was from 7 years ago, yeah? So am I finished here? I mean, am I finished here? I was thinking of, going home to start writing. Are you kidding? Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? I hate to state what should be pretty obvious to anyone, but when you catch the scent of a story, you make that, rather unique face. Come on. Attorney has active imagination, little else. End quote. Even I noticed something, and my eyes aren't what they used to be. I'm starting to understand what all this perceiving stuff is about. Judge has active imagination. End quote. Please continue with your testimony. Tell us about the scent of a story. Hey, I'm the one asking the questions here, usually. What's with the toothbrush? Actually, it took a bit of work to get a thumbs up on the interview. Reporter leaves story, gets his interview, end quote. The story concerned a certain case from 7 years ago. That red envelope probably had something to do with it. Say what you will, but Drew's talent was without compare. Alright. So you were threatened to go to press with this story? That's how you got your interview? Blackmail? Well, yes. I mean, no. I wasn't exactly I'm not... It was blackmail. You got blackmailed, dude. Something wrong, Mr. Brushel? Well, look. This is my story, my tidbit. Journalist info is livelihood. End quote. I see. But you pretty much just confessed that you did this interview out of blackmail. While you have me chatting away in here, what's going on out there? What if someone, Wally Woodsworth or Sally Scooper gets wind of my story? They could be going to press while I'm going to waste. The court feels your pain, Mr. Brushel. Mr. Justice, let's pick up the piece. A certain case, 7 years ago. Wait, 7 years ago?
Ready. Fight!
Oh boy, let's do this. Oh, we're gonna use the bracelet right now, so... Oh my god. Or let me see something. Oh. Wait, go back, go back. It's his armpit. Right here.
Gotcha!
Right when he said, but Drew's talent. Like, you could see his armpit, like, some residue from that. Sweat much, Mr. Brushel? Ugh. Yeah, well, a man can't help his glance, you know. It's more than that. When Mr. Misham's talent was mentioned, you suddenly began to sweat buckets. You're hiding something about his talent. What? That's ridiculous. Evidence time. Let's show where Mr. Misham's true talent lay. Just so happens I have evidence to show the talent mentioned in the letter. Yeah.
Take that!
This painting was found in Mr. Misham's studio. There are two problems with this painting. The first, it wasn't painted by Mr. Misham. The second is that there was another painting in the studio, which looked exactly like this one, except it was only half done. Then we have a letter discussing a payment of $100,000, which suggests a certain business operation. The business of making of forgeries. Oh! That is all, Your Honor. Yeah, we got him. Everyone, please, everyone, can we keep this private, please? This is my story, my scoop. Forgery? That's a serious crime. Drew Mitchum is known as an artist these days. But there were rumors he kind of dabbled in another kind of art until a few years back. Another art meaning forgery? Drew Mitchum was talented, alright? Talented at making a precise, detailed face. A fact that certain criminal elements were quick to discover. Criminal elements? What? You can't be seriously talking about... Exactly. I'm talking about forging evidence. The rumors started circulating 7 years ago. 7 years ago? So are we to understand that this letter, this payment of $100,000 was for... Exactly. Forged evidence nets tidy profit, end quote. Order, order, order. Why, it's like our victim was living a double life. Aha, this is my chance. So the victim had ties to the criminal world, right? He could have had plenty of enemies we know nothing about.
Objection!
This is my first time hearing of this criminal world. We certainly found no criminal connections when we conducted our investigation. Hey, Nova.
Objection!
But how do you explain all this money? For some reason, Brushel reminds me of Doom from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Oh, Judge Doom? He does look like him. You have to admit there's a possibility of some illegal activity here.
Objection!
But there's no proof tying this letter to our case. Our case was, and remained simple from the beginning. Only the defendant could have poisoned that mug that night. And you, of course... Hey. The only thing I poison is my pen when I'm writing reviews. Mr. Brushel, your testimony to this point has been quite unreliable. It doesn't speak well of your reporting acumen. What you talking about? My journalism's rock solid. Journalism's so solid you could cross the sand on an elephant on it. End quote. In any case, let's hear a summarized recap of your testimony. If we can ascertain the situation in that studio from the recap, the trial's over. Apollo, what's he talking about? Cross-examination showed Mr. Brushel didn't have reason or means to poison him. As long as there's no other suspects, then the killer had to be Vera. That's what. This next testimony is our last chance. Mr. Brushel, your testimony, please. The interview. A recap. The only other person in the studio that night was the defendant. It was Vera who poured the coffee. She admitted as much herself. The only thing that touched Drew's lips during that interview was that mug. And nothing left that studio after he died. Nothing. Clearly, the only one who could have poisoned him was his daughter. Alright, well, let's dispute that. A nice testimony. Clear, succinct, and without room for doubt. Ah, shucks. You really think so? I believe this clarifies the situation that night. Very well, Mr. Justice, you may begin your final cross-examination. Right. Still have one trial card left to play. And I won't let this trial end until I use it. Here we go.
Ready.
We're gonna fight.
Fight!
The only other person in the studio that night was the defendant. And thanks for the watch streak. 35. Nice. Just keep moving. Let's press.
Hold it!
Not one thing? You sure? Yep, sure as sure can be. Well, with one exception. One exception? What? Journalist Spark Brushel does interview, leaves studio. End quote. Hey, no boy. Yeah, the Nintendo music, right? Come on. It's a joke. Get it? Not funny, I know, but still. Did something leave the studio that night? Why does it sound familiar? Where have I heard something like that before? Now that we've proven our witness is a comedian of sorts, I'd like to turn to our defense attorney before returning to the testimony. Do you have any idea what, if anything, might have left the studio that night? Just one thing. I think one thing might very well have left the studio that night, actually. A certain something that has vanished from this crime scene. By which you mean something other than our witness? Of course. Don't tell me. Vera Misham? Believe me, any comic relic I may provide is entirely unintentional. But let's see what you got for us, Mr. Justice. Well, this thing wasn't at the scene of the crime, so I can't show it to you. But I do have evidence that shows how it could have been taken from the scene.
Take that!
This is the only link between that studio and the outside world. A letterbox? What did Mr. Brushel just tell us? When he entered the studio on the night of the murder, the victim had just finished writing a letter. Yeah, I said that, and yeah, it was true. Furthermore, you went on to tell us that he put the letter in a yellow envelope and put it in the letterbox. Ah, but that very same letterbox was empty. In other words, that night, the yellow envelope disappeared.
Objection!
Ah, yes, intriguing. So an envelope has disappeared from the scene of the crime. Of course, this changes nothing. Huh? He has a point, Mr. Justice. What we're trying to figure out here is how the poison got into Mr. Misham. Is it really important that this envelope, the witness says he saw disappeared? Well, if it did disappear, then something did leave the studio that night. That seems very important to me. Very well then, the witness will add this to his testimony. You got it. I still think this fails to change anything, Air Forehead. I wouldn't be so sure. A letter disappeared from the crime scene that night. This is exactly the opening I've been looking for. A letter was put in the post from the studio, but I hardly think that matters. Alright, I want to go back right here.
Hold it!
You sure about that? Well, to be really precise, I was busy gobbling mint candies the whole time. One of those candies might have been poisoned.
Objection!
Yet at the time of the autopsy, no fresh fragrance of mint filled the room. Yeah, that's quite the face. And I was trying my best to give him a SpongeBob voice impersonation, and no mint residue was found. It was a long shot anyway. Don't tell me you're still trying to prove this. You think the victim ate, drank, or otherwise ingested something other than coffee? Well, Mr. Justice, if you have some proof, the possibility is there. You can feel it, just maybe. Not prove it, not yet. And possibility isn't going to cut it. Not now. Mr. Misham, I ingested that poison via a route other than coffee. I can prove it. Proof is possible. Here goes nothing. You do understand what we need, yeah? Proof, or forehead? Of course. And Prosecutor Gavin? I hope you understand. I'm ready to give you that proof. What did you just say? I have proof of the disappearing envelope. I saw him writing a letter. I did. Which was picked up by the mailman, I assume. Of course, which means that envelope had a stamp on it. A stamp. Ah. As we all know, stamps come with dry glue on the back. In order to use the glue, you have to wet it by licking the stamp.
Objection!
No one worth talking to actually licks stamps in this day and age.
Objection!
I do. Even if you wanted to talk to him, you couldn't. He's dead after all.
Objection!
Okay, so he licked the stamp. But wait, how does this explain the atropine on the rim of the coffee mug?
Objection!
If he licked the back of a poisoned stamp, the poison would get on his tongue, yes? What would then happen if he put the coffee mug to his mouth? Those traces on the mug weren't the killer's doing. It was the other way around. What? The coffee mug didn't poison Mr. Misham. Mr. Misham poisoned the coffee mug himself. Order, order, order? That does it? Recall, if you would. Atropine is a slow-acting poison, yes? The poison entered his body when he put the stamp on the envelope. But his time wasn't up until the very moment he touched his lips to the cup of joe. You have something to add, Mr. Brushel? Uh-oh. His nose is picking up another scent. As I believe I mentioned earlier... Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in the envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. Yes, a stamp. A so-called postage stamp. End quote. But you know, I don't seem to remember ever finding one. Maybe it just ran out? Incidentally, we searched the desk drawer at the scene of the crime. There were no stamps. Not a single one. That does pose a problem. How would you prove that the stamp was coated with poison? Actually, I'm glad no other stamps were found. It makes proving the stamp he used was poison possible. Good show, good show. You can't even prove there was a stamp at the scene in the first place. Well, let's see what the defense has to say anyway. Where is your evidence that proves the existence of the poison stamp? See this tiny frame right here?
Take that!
Well, that certainly is a cute little frame. And by little, I mean really little. It was on the victim's desk, Your Honor. Quite empty, as you can see for yourself. I noticed that too during my inspection, so what? Ah, apparently you weren't as observant as you should have been. You see, when you saw this frame, it was missing something quite important. Missing something? And welcome back from the ad zone. Yes, a pale bluish stain on the inside of the frame. Atropine residue. What? Why wasn't I told about this? The frame is only 2 inches square. The face of the frame is even smaller. Maybe an inch wide at most. You aren't saying... Oh, but I am. Tell me, what fits in such a small frame? A commemorative stamp, perhaps? Order, order, order. The poison stamp was in this frame? Impossible. Prosecutor Gavin, why would he put something like that on his desk? Don't tell me he had it there so he could commit suicide if the mood struck. You know, can I say something? I had a thought, see? What, Mr. Brushel? And please stop jittering around like that. The victim was a forager, right? There's a lot of money in that line of work. Forager forges friends, makes enemies too, end quote. So the poison stamp might have been a murder weapon, aimed at him.
Objection!
What? Oh, my fucking alarm was set. Oops. Oh, Rich, that's Rich. Leave the ridiculous fights of fancy to the Gaviner's song lyrics, please. Finally, something we agree on. The stamp was a murder weapon. Nonsense. Murder's a simple business. Who would go to such lengths? No one. Oh, I disagree. Come again? Recall, if you would, the victim's reclusive lifestyle. Drew Misham hid from the world. He avoided his meetings. His only contact with the outside world was the mail. The mail. Now, if you wanted to kill someone you couldn't meet, but you read the letters. A stamp would be the perfect weapon. Ridiculous. Where's your proof? I want proof. Show us evidence that this poison stamp was sent to him as a murder weapon. More Kirby? Which one? I might not have evidence, per se, but things are finally starting to come together. The Dream Buffet? Yeah, that's a very weak choice to put in the Nintendo music, to be honest. But what is it, Apollo? Your fists are trembling. I think I know what happened. I don't believe it, but I can see it. I think I know how Mr. Mishap was killed. Well, fill us in, Mr. Justice. A certain piece of evidence points to the truth, Your Honor. I can show you how someone with the intent to kill sent Mr. Mishap the step of death. Well, it's this red envelope.
Take that!
Isn't this the envelope? The one from 7 years ago? Think about the text from the letter again. There were 2 pages in the envelope. This page is 1. And this is page 2. I want to draw your attention to one phrase in particular. Send in the enclosed envelope with the enclosed stamp within 3 days. The enclosed stamp, Your Honor. Ow. In other words, if I have this straight, the stamp, poison, on the stamp, lick, gasp, end quote. Now, what if he had done exactly as the letter asked? He would sign the document, put in the envelope, and put the stamp on it, right? Then he would put it in his letterbox. 15 minutes wouldn't have elapsed between affixing the stamp and mailing the letter. But the clock started ticking, and when the time came, he drew his last breath. And the murder weapon would be taken away from the scene. Quite conveniently, thanks to the postal system. Such a splendid imagination you have, her forehead. Let me confirm one thing with you, if I might. So this poison stamp was inside this envelope from 7 years ago, ja? Is that what you had us believe? Really? Well, it's a little bit of a stretch, but there is a possibility. Yes, a very small possibility. How small, I wonder? Poison stamp in this envelope? A stamp that then became the murder weapon? How do you intend to prove this seeming coincidence? Well, it was 7 years ago. We don't even know who sent that letter. And your answer is silence, I see. Very well. I move to... It's not nice to pick on the Fräulein Clavier. Huh? Oh, shit. Emma. What? What the fuck? Well, like my Christoph Gavin impression? Did I sound like him? Don't quit your day job. Don't you have a crime scene to be looking after, Fräulein Detective? Someone had to come dig you all out of this mess you're making of this case. Mess? You know, none of this would have happened if you just trusted in science a little more. You can find out if that stamp was in that envelope. Easy. Can't explain yourself, Fräulein Detective? Glare at me all you want, but science is on my side. It's all in the residue, right? That's right! The poison detection spray. Produce the red envelope at once. You can open it on the authority of the court. There we go. Alright. Oh, wait. I see it. There it is. Well, would you look at that? No mistaking it. That's atracanine residue. Welcome back, Dragon. I don't believe it. A murder weapon from the past. Now, 7 years later, it bears its fangs at last.
Objection!
Absolutely outrageous. Tell me why. Why did this murder take place 7 years ago? There's one possibility. Maybe Mr. Misham figured it out. Figured out what? He realized that the person who sent that letter wanted him dead. So he sent his reply with a different stamp. And put his decisive evidence in a frame. Wait. Ah, you're still here? Can I make the statement here on the record? I, Spark Razor 2 Brushel, claim this scoop as mine. Jim Misham killed in cold blood. By sender of 7-year-old letter, end quote. Also, this character, I'm gonna say this right now, I do not like this guy. In fact, I actually hate him. He's probably up there as one of my least favorite characters in the series. But you wanna know what I did, Dragon? You wanna know what voice I was trying to give him? I was trying to give him SpongeBob's voice. No, maybe something more second. 7 falls after 7-year delay, unquote. Order. I see no room for further argument here, though I admit this is all coming as quite a shock. To think that the murder weapon reached his mouth after 7 years. Stamp is a ticket straight to afterlife, end quote. Uh-oh, I think the witness is a bad influence on a judge. I see no need for further debate on this matter. Yes, SpongeBob. The sender of that letter 7 years ago could hardly have been our defendant. Apollo. I think we're just one. Very well, this court finds the defendant.
Objection!
Is this the bright future of our legal system? Prosecutor Gavin? A ticket to the afterlife from 7 years ago. Tickets for Gavin's shows are invalid after 2 weeks. But it doesn't make sense any other way. It boggles my mind that so many people haven't noticed this. There's a fatal contradiction in Air Forehead's claim. Contradiction? A poison stamp was placed in this envelope 7 years ago, whereupon it was framed until now. If that's the case, then why would Drew Misham have done what he did? Emma explained that. He must have realized it was poison. Therein lies the rub. 7 years ago, the forger Drew Misham sets a trap and put the stamp in the frame. I do not debate this, but this begs the question. Why, 7 years later, did he use that stamp on the night of the murder? Surely you don't mean to suggest that Mr. Misham simply forgot. He put the murder weapon in the frame on his desk 7 years ago, and forgot? You expect us to believe he sprang that trap on himself? Well, I admit this is all quite shocking myself. It does seem highly unlikely that he would fall afoul of a trap that had to be sitting on his desk for 7 years. Apollo? I don't think we're winning anymore. I'm glad to see we're all back in the real world now. Welcome back to reality. We've been waiting for you.
Objection!
Okay, then how do you explain the poison stamp that was in this envelope? The poison stamp? Where exactly is this poison stamp again? Have you brought it to court for us? I see no proof that such a thing ever existed.
Objection!
What about the atropine residue, huh? Oh, I agree, that does seem to be atropine residue. But her forehead, it's certainly no stamp. Yeah, but even if your precious poison stamp did exist, Drew Misham never would have used it. That is all. Ugh. I believe we come to a conclusion again. Apollo? Were you wrong the whole time? I can't believe it. The poison traces match up. It can't be a coincidence. I'd like to bring some closure to this issue sometime this year. Mr. Justice? Yes, Your Honor? Let's review the facts and see where we stand. 7 years ago, Drew Misham received a red envelope. There were traces of the poison atropine on the document inside that envelope. A similar trace was also found in the crime scene, on this tiny picture frame. The defense has indicated the possibility of a yellow envelope. An envelope that left the scene of the crime with the poison stamp on it. Yes, but even if this envelope contained a poison stamp, and Drew Misham, knowing this, put it in a frame, he never would have used that stamp. I'm afraid you're right, which means there is a fatal flaw in the defense's case. I haven't been on the wrong track this whole time, I'm sure of it. The traces of atropine in the envelope, the frame, and Drew Misham's mysterious death. They're all connected somehow. Well, Mr. Justice, do you have a conclusion for us? The defense stands by its case, Your Honor. We've seen that the logical outcome of the evidence makes no sense, which means that one of our clues must be a fake. Ah, a fake clue. Fascinating. And if we find this fake, your wild fantasies will prove quite reasonable, yeah? The fake clue that's thrown us off the poison's trail is none other than... I'm gonna say Drew Misham. The victim was a fake clue? I'm afraid I don't understand. I'll explain. We have an envelope, a frame, and a mug linked by poison. That all makes sense. What doesn't make sense is the victim himself.
Objection!
Congratulations, you completely lost me. So the fake evidence is none other than the master of the fake himself, the forger. It makes a good story, I'll give you that. The fake clue. Fakes. Forgeries. Ah, I know that face. That's not I just had an idea face. I don't know if I'm right, but I'm going with it anyway. What if a forger is the fake? Come again? 7 years ago, our forger snipped a trap and stepped aside. 7 years passed. Now the forger stumbles into that very same trap and dies. Why? That's what I want to know. Because the forger who was killed was a fake. Here we are again. The victim was a fake. One forger smelled a trap. One forger fell into the trap. That's two forgers, and one of them was a fake. Order, order, order. So you are telling us that Drew Misham, the victim, was a fake. Well, if he was the fake, who was the real forger? You better not be claiming there was some kind of switcheroo. I'm afraid you're going to have to back up your story. Mr. Justice, just show us just who the real Drew Misham was. The best part of waking up is forgers in your cup. Wow, okay. If Drew Misham wasn't the real forger, there's only one other person it could have been. Understood, Your Honor. Forger Drew Misham was himself a forgery. The real forger was... Well, you're probably not going to believe this, but I think the actual forger is Claver Gavin. Nah, I'm just joking. It's Vera.
Take that!
There's only one explanation, really. The real identity of the forger is known as Drew Misham is none other than his only daughter, Vera Misham. Order, order, order. Mr. Justice, this is going out on a limb, even for you. I kind of agree. I mean, Vera, a forger? Let's consider it before you write it off entirely. If you look at the paintings in the studio, one fact becomes quite clear. Forgery had been taking place in that studio for quite some time. The forger wasn't caught in that trap 7 years ago. This can only mean that the one who was caught in the trap wasn't the forger. Well, actually, that does make a certain kind of sense. One more thing. Only 2 sets of fingerprints were found in the forger studio. Drew Misham's and Vera Misham's. If we know that Drew Misham wasn't the forger, that leaves only one possibility, by process of elimination. The forger was Vera Misham. Well, fascinating. I know I should be defending her, but Vera Misham? You've been paying attention to the trial so far. Let's just ask her and be done with it, shall we? Who are you? Who is the forger? Drew Misham? Was that an expression of emotion I saw on her face? She's staring holes into Prosecutor Gavin's face. I'm used to being stared at by Frauleins, believe me, but no, they usually talk to me too. Tell us, were you the one who forged those works of art? Yes. So the forger Drew Misham was you? Yes, it was me. What? What? The court was in an uproar and it wasn't coming down. We had to break it down for a 10-minute recess. Which, unfortunately, we are not going to continue with this game tonight because we do have a Mario Party Madness session coming up real soon. So we will continue with this game tomorrow. Yes, cliffhanger. But we will come back to this game tomorrow. So, oh my god. This trial is going places. So we're going to see just what the fuck happens. We'll find out what happens tomorrow, but wow. I don't know how to feel about this case. But I definitely do not like that fucking reporter, Brushel. I definitely don't like him. But yeah. So that's going to do it for Apollo Justice for tonight.